the basic idea, as we've already said before, that comes from Mencius is precisely the notion of a yangxin. The human heart is good. Okay, that's very general so far. Then Mencius says that there are the sprouts, the siduan, the sprouts of good behavior, moral behavior in the heart. And a very famous story of, right, a child about to fall into a well and spontaneously will go. And this is the proof that people spontaneously have this sprout of compassion, of good. Okay? But where Mencius just sees these as sprouts that are there, in the Daoism people, this sprout, especially for Ren, is a part of the Li. It's a part of the nature. Okay. So what you have to do then is cultivate this, so that the emotions begin to emerge, that they can be channeled and controlled properly. Well, okay. So this Daotong shifts the focus from the sage as emperor to the sage as individual. Okay. So we could say one of the themes of the course, a massive democratization. The whole focus of the preaching philosophers leading up to the foundation of the empire, what makes for a good emperor? And then along come at the end of it, well, it's a person who embodies the Tao. And now we say the Tao is not embodied by the emperor, it's embodied by the intellectuals who belong to this sectarian group of Daoism. Okay. One point I draw your attention to once again immediately is that one of the basic reasons for this is that China is divided. So from the very beginning of this period, there are two sons of heaven. There's the Son of Heaven, even in the Northern Sung. It's not just divided once there's the Southern Sung. The Northern Sung does not control Outer Asia, and it doesn't control the whole North, which are controlled by the Liao, the Xisha, and then later by the Jin. But already, I think it's in 970, a first treaty is signed with the Liao, in which the Sung court, based in Kaifeng in the north, recognizes that they are a son of heaven. So there are two sons of heaven. Okay? And we've already seen when we looked at Buddhism that one of the features of the Daoism people, remember one of the famous Chan monks had Zhengtong as one of his disciples, and what they shared was what we today call patriotism. That is to say, go to war. So the Daoism people throughout this period are hawks. They want to fight. They want to take back the lands and get rid, and they don't recognize the emperor as being someone who embodies the Tao, because they are not opting for the proper policies, which would be to go and recover the lands which have been lost to the Jin and to the Liao. Okay? So this is an absolutely major transformation, right, in the history of China, that China, with its church state, or its state church, the state which is the church, to deny legitimacy to the emperor, to put him on the level, and even a lower level than us people who belong to the Daoism. But of course, what happens? What happens is that precisely under the Mongols, Southern Song, this Daoism becomes Zhengtong. Okay? Because that is the traditional opposite to Daotong. It's Zhengtong. Okay? The legitimacy of the dynastic tradition. And So from that time, and then starting above all in the Ming, the emperors, Ming-Taizu, say, but we have now instituted your orthodoxy as our orthodoxy. It had become the state orthodoxy. So now, we once again, emperors, embody the Tao. Okay? So just as we saw last semester with Buddhism, Buddhism comes in and says, we don't bow down before the emperor. And in the end, they bow down. So the Daoism people start on the margins as critics. And then their criticism is taken into the exam system, and they move from the periphery to the center. And once again, the state says, okay, we embody orthodoxy.